which I still need to go get that soundtrack. But anyways, more of the table. We need to cover the table.
Yes, the table.
Yes.
We left off here.
Yeah.
So,
but the amazing thing about this is the solid box. By the way, there's only like, I can't remember if it's 50 or 100 of these that actually exist. The rest of them, and you've seen them, the rest of them are split into three cases.
Yeah.
Because
Daniel
Anime Ejo got a cease and desist order right after they started shipping because Harmony Gold, who controls the rights to this, said you can't do it like this. Because Harmony Gold controls everything Robotech Macross in the United States, which is again why we got off on the Frontier rant. So when they said that, I'm sitting there going, "Great, I'm gonna have to pay more money. I'm not gonna get that." And then lo and behold, this showed up, and I am honored that I was within that first shipment of these that actually got out.
or however many.
However many it was. There's a holographic card that goes with this. I didn't bring it, but you will not find it in this. And so, I think they even took out the inserts, which, as you saw, there's 7 inserts in here,
and it's quite impressive. I must say.
it's all background detail and.
Okay.
And then we have, like, here's your Shadow Chronicles. This is yours. What is this?
It is, this right here is the box. I got this at Persicon, which was a convention in Huntsville I went to, is a straight up anime convention. And it's a Super Veritech. It's supposed to be Rick's, essentially. It's his paint scheme before he was Skull 1.
Well, it's the...
But it is it's the red, so it's the, Remember Love paint scheme, because the red there instead of the yellow. It does all 3 forms: Jet, Guardian, and Battlewood, which I'm not going to say them in the other names because I'm not going to bother. It does transform, and you can kind of move it around. It has this stool. I just don't like to. I like to mess with it, but I'm not going to try because it takes me a while to mess with it to get it to do its thing. But the funny thing is he. The first time I asked the guy how much for it, he said 30. And then the second I came back later and went and thought about it, and I said, "Come back and I go, how much for it?" And he goes, 25. And I was like, I don't think or I asked a different. What it was, there was 2 guys running the booth, and I asked a different one.
Yeah.
And he said 25, so I bought it.
Right.
So I was like, maybe he won't. Maybe the other guy won't find out that I got
1/100 scale variable fighter.
Hey, you know what? It was very nice.
And that's the strike version on the cover.
Yeah, and it's in here because you can take those off and.
But the S1 is only seen in Do You Remember Love, actually.
Yeah.
And then you've got
these little miniatures. Which I took this one out of the plastic and this was detached, which is a shame.
And we've got this is the
armored.
It's not just this isn't the armor. I mean, it's the armored variation, but it's the assault armored one because it's got the missile packs.
Yeah, and the funny thing is we use that as a Christmas tree ornament every year. We put that on the Christmas branch. But yeah, this is one of the
this is
Battleoids.
This is Hikaru's.
The one he uses in that one episode. The one episode that appears in.
Yeah. Because that's when they're still in space before he gets Skull 1. Because this is Skull 1.
Yes.
Yeah. And it has some more in there. It has Max and Myria's too that you kind of put together.
Yeah.
But I don't want to lose them or lose the pieces, so I don't. These are solid ones, so I take these out.
And we moved those, and we'll show this thing off. This is the VF1A Super Valkyrie. This is a model kit that I found at a. Actually, it was shown to me by the owner of American Comics and Cards when American Comics and Cards was around.
Wow.
He was like, "Hey, you're a Robotech Macross guy. I got this in," and he had 2 of them. He had the VF1A and the VFS, or the VF1S, and he goes, "So which one would you like?" And I said, "Honestly, save that Super Valkyrie because nobody knows what the Strike Valkyrie actually is." So we've got we've got this, and then we've got this minibus, and I don't remember if this is the one that got knocked off or not. But I've got all 3 of these.
Okay.
I've got all 3 of the ones that were released. Well, technically there were 4, but if you remember, the Misa bust was not a Misa, or the Lisa bust was not a Lisa bust. It was in the Rick Hunter box. It was a ship. There were 4 of them produced, and they were shipped in the Rick Hunter box as a surprise. In other words, they were wanting people to order these. But there's one of these that broke.
Oh God, please don't want to be that one.
It's not this one. Okay. This one's head doesn't detach.
Oh, lovely.
The Roy Fokker, I had a cat that managed to get to a shelf that had an overhang about that far, and these were sitting on the shelf under the overhang back, And I come home to find Roy Fokker in the floor with his head off. Because that's the other one. That's one of the other
well,
ones I've got.
the irony of that is, I'm not trying to throw spoilers out there or anything.
It's 30 years old. I don't think it matters anymore.
I'm not really hunting for pineapple salad anyway.
Well, that was the name of the Japanese episode.
And they still left the joke in for the Americans, though.
Well, but the American episode was it's one of the few real faults I have with the American Robotech, and that's the episode in which Fokker dies is called Goodbye Big Brother.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, from a storytelling standpoint,
That's a horrible idea.
You don't tell me that the name of the episode is Goodbye Big Brother. But yes, I have the 3 of these. I've got this one, Fokker and Max.
Nice.
You
said the Lisa was just
the Lisa was there was only 4. There was only a handful of them made, and they were only for orders off of the Robotech website. And they were put in the Rick Hunter boxes.
Wow.
So if you got the Lisa, it was like an amazing thing.
Well, those were hard to get a hold of anyway, because I wanted one of those.
They're not as hard as something else, though.
You're a son of a bitch.
I'm a son of a bitch?
Yeah, you're a son of a bitch.
I'm a son of a bitch?
Here we go.
Hand me my key.
That.
That's... son of a bitch.
Oh, no, son of a bitch. Okay, well, here.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah. These things are so sexy, and I so want it.
One of 15,000.
One of 15,000.
I didn't pay for a single one of them.
This is so beautiful, and I want
1/16 scale, fully transformable. And this one was given to me by the owner of American Comics and Cards.
Yeah, this thing is so beautiful, and
I understand your frustrations as well.
Yeah.
Before Ron was a cokehead and ran his store to the ground, I actually had a really good friendship with the man.
Yeah.
And when these things went up for order, the website crashed. They were sold out in minutes. There were only 5,000 that got shipped out to stores.
Yeah.
The other 10,000 went up for sale on the website and were gone in minutes.
It's a shame you don't have Max and Myriad as well.
Yeah, I really didn't have the money to get those when those come out. But I showed up to American Comics and Cards, and Ron's sitting there talking to me, and he says, "So, I got this box, and I'm tempted to put it out there for display, but I think you'll like it, and if you want it, it's yours. It's just yours." And I said, "What is it?" And he hands it to me, and I open the box, and I pull this thing out. And he's like, "Yeah, I remember hearing you say something about they sold out in minutes, and I had a copy because I have one of the biggest gaming comic book stores in the
South.
area.
South, yeah.
So they sent me one, and I was just like, and to give it, I mean, 14,064 of 15,000.
Yeah. I don't even want to imagine what one of those goes for on eBay right now.
$250.
Wow. A pop?
And they released for what was like 100?
No, they came out for 80. But I've got Rick, and then
It's beautiful.
Ben was given to me by a guy I no longer talk to, and Art. I know me and you have had our disagreements, but I still thank you for this one. He got this one from somebody, and he said it was just sitting in his room collecting dust, and he didn't particularly want it anymore, so he gave it to me as a birthday present. This one
Up so you can see inside it.
Yeah.
And everything.
and then Roy here,
It's really nice.
this
one's actually been opened up before, then hasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then this one.
That is my favorite.
This is the Skull one.
Good God.
This was
Like
given
a
to me.
boss.
This was given to me by the father of a friend of ours, Daniel.
Really? I didn't know Daniel's dad gave this one to you.
Yes, he did, because it was right after Nathan died.
Was it Nathan's originally, or?
No, it was right after Nathan died, and Bruce was trying his darndest to be the best friend of everybody in the group.
I got you. Yeah,
And
I remember that.
he said something, and he saw I had these, and he went looking for this, and when it went up for sale, he ordered it. Of course, these two didn't sell out nearly as fast as this one did.
No, this one sold out pretty... I'm pretty sure Max and Myriad probably sold pretty good, too.
No, from what I understand, you can still get them. They still have some of them in the boxes.
Really?
In the original boxes,
Oh,
yeah.
man. Yeah, I figured, of course, main character is
Well, yeah,
always going to
yeah.
sell out like a boss.
Well, it's the character everybody actually wanted, and
Yeah.
he's got the more. I mean, it's the red. It's
Yeah.
the red.
I've just got the gimpy version. And I want one of those so bad. So if you have one of those laying around and you're one of our fans, please feel free to donate. But no.
I still remember bringing it over to you for the first time.
I'm like,
and being like, here, you can take it out and transform it, and you're just, what?
like, I can't bring myself to do that, but can I hold it? May I hold it?
They're 1/16 scale, fully transformable, and they transform into all three modes.
Yes,
So.
and they are amazing, and I want one.
This is a very nice haul of all things Robotech.
And this isn't even
All
of it.
This is everything we could just kind of pull on a whim.
Yeah.
Because I know I've got a few other things in there I could. Because I've also got all the novelization by Jack McKinney in there. If we want to stack
and I used to have the Robotech RPG books, and my dumb ass got rid of them.
Yeah.
I wish I hadn't. Even though I don't like the system and the book quality was terrible, I still wish I hadn't gotten rid of them.
Wouldn't mind getting the Shadow Chronicle ones just to have it to add in there, even though it's a pocket size one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's one of those things.
Well, anything else we need to add in here, gentlemen?
No.
Not really. I mean, I'm a Macross guy for life. There is something we can add in. There is something we can add in. It's been in one of the other episodes, but I think it's fun. It'll be a good one.
Oh, yeah.
Since this is yours.
I forgot about putting that out there. It is retro. It's video games. It is the Macross NES game, which it was in a. I've got it in a. Yeah.
I
had that. I had that at ChargerCon.
Yeah, he did. He had it in the Gyromite.
Yep.
It was just a pain to get in and out of the system.
I really want to have it up there and leave it in there for a while because I want to play it some more myself. It was really cool to actually play. It's always cool to play it on my controller instead of an emulator.
Yep.
Because there's some Famicom games I would really like to have. I'd like to have a reproduction or a label for the one.
For our fans out there, if you have access to a PS2 or PS3 Macross game, please, I'd love that thing.
It's like, we're going to just blatantly beg for things!
Well, you must understand, the PS2 one is the game that everyone says is the best Macross game you can get.
Right.
And the PS3 one is, since the PS3 is region free, you can get on Amazon for about $90. And it looks amazing, and it has stuff from all 3 or all 4 generations. I mean, like, everything Macross related is in that. You've got the original Valkyrie, you've got the Frontier Valkyries, or whatever.
The Messiah.
The Messiah. They've got the 19s. The YF-19s. They've got they've got the Thunderbolt in there. The freaking Thunderbolt is in it. And you probably don't know what the Thunderbolt is, or you might, but you don't.
Thunderbolt, do tell.
The Thunderbolt was the replacement for the VF-1s. It's called the VF-3 Thunderbolt, and it's instead of having the wings that move back, it's got 2 pocket engines on the wings.
Gotcha.
And it was the replacement. If you watch Flashback 2012, at the last of it, when the Macross was taking off, it's being escorted by things that don't look like Valkyries because they're not Valkyries. They're VF-3 Thunderbolts.
Yeah.
Or not Thunderbolts, Lightnings. The Thunderbolt was the replacement, that's the VF-11, and then the VF-19 is the replacement for the Thunderbolt. And I know too much about Macross.
You know, I just thought of what I had that we could have put up here. I have some of the last release comics that were done by an off branch of DC. And the Wildstorm ones. And those are really good because they have some off-branch stories and stuff that were never told, like anyway, and it kind of it fills in some really nice gaps that are really kind of cool. But that's just me.
And then there's of course the Robotech games and
Battlecry, which I've got the Xbox.
Battlecry was amazing.
And Invasion.
I wouldn't say it's amazing. It has its limits.
It does, but you know what? It was the first, other than this, which we didn't get. It was the first Robotech game we got. It's because we never got Crystal Dreams for the 64, but that's for another day.
We never got Macross VFX 1, even though we got the demo for it.
Fucking Crystal Dreams. I wanted Crystal Dreams so bad. Oh, God. That was the one I was like for the 64 for the longest time. I remember I've got a gaming magazine. I forget what it was called. But I've got it. It's falling apart. It's got a little ad about when it was. And it's from when the Nintendo 64 was known as the Ultra 64.
Before they changed the name to sound stupid.
Yeah, and then they...
Is that red light still on?
Yeah, it's not. And then there's another one that I've got that mentions Robotech is the granddaddy of all delays in video games. Because they delayed it forever and ever until it finally just never existed.
It's still not as bad as StarCraft Ghost.
I know. I've got a ROM of that unfinished game, and it's just like, please, why did you?
For the record, StarCraft Ghost was announced when the PS2 was announced, and StarCraft Ghost was teased and teased and teased, and then it was put on indefinite hold. And sometime last year, Blizzard came out and said, "Yeah, we're still working on that."
I think that's kind of like they're working on Half-Life 3 or something like that. Or Fallout 4.
But Half-Life 3 is Valve, and Valve has the Capcom syndrome of not being able to count past 2.
Yeah. Valve, I don't really care for Valve games. They're not my cup of tea. I just find it funny.
That was okay.
They're alright.
That was really good.
I didn't say they're not. I just said they're not my
yeah.
cup of tea. Like, I liked Portal, and I didn't play Portal 2, but I liked Portal.
Yeah,
It was
Portal's
fun.
awesome.
Portal 2 is really good. You'd probably enjoy the Half-Lives if you can get past the fact that they're not action-based shooters. They're storytelling shooters.
Right.
But
Which I'm fine with.
We are so out of where we're supposed to be.
It doesn't matter. That's what makes us awesome.
Oh god. But anyways, we need to sum this bad boy up.
No worries.
What'd you say?
No scripts, no worries.
Exactly.
Alright, well I'm Retro Red.
Robert Retro Black.
Derrick Retro Gold.
And we're the Retro Rangers. Like, favorite, subscribe, like our Facebook and us on Twitter, which will be down here, and join the Retro Rangers today.